Hi guys, today we're going to be predicting the 2024 World Darts Championship. Make sure to like and subscribe and let's get straight to it. So the first match, Kevin Doe at Stowe Bunce. I think Stowe Bunce wins that one. Mike De Decker, Dragutin Horvat, Mike De Decker. Neil Zonneveld, Darren Webster. I think Neil Zonneveld. William O'Connor and Bav Patel. William O'Connor. Mario van den Bogart and Thibaut Tricol. Tough one, but I think Mario wins this one. Richie Edhouse and Jeffrey de Graaf. Richie Edhouse. Steve Lennon, Owen Bates. I think it's a difficult one to call. Steve Lennon, I think, just edges it. Jimmy Hughes, David Cameron, Jimmy Hughes. Jim Williams and Norman Madu. Jim Williams, definitely. Radek Zyganski and Marco Cantele. I think Zyganski. Matt Campbell, Lawrence Lagin. I think tough one this actually. Just gonna edge it for Lawrence Lagin, why not? Christian Kiss, Luke Littler. We're gonna go Luke Littler. Connor Scott versus Christoph Kachuk. Connor Scott. Mickey Mansell against Zhao Zhanzon. I think Mickey Mansell. Keegan Brown and Boris Kirkmar. Keegan Brown. Simon Whitlock, Paolo Nebreda. Simon Whitlock. Keem Barry, Ronaldo Rivera. Keem Barry, I think. Richard Veenstra and Ben Robb. Veenstra, I think, wins that one. Could be a good game though. Dylan Slevin and Florian Hempel. Toss of a coin, I'd say this one. I'll just edge it for Hempel. Ryan Joyce, Alex Spellman. Ryan Joyce. Scott Williams, Haruki Muramatsu. We're going to go Scott Williams. Jermaine Wassamina, Fallon Sherrock. Tough one actually to call. I think Fallon wins that game, to be honest. Martin Lukeman and Haupai Pua. Martin Lukeman. Luke Woodhouse and Barry Vampire, I think. Luke Woodhouse. Lee Evans and Sandra Eriksson. Lee Evans. Petreczko and Suzuki. As bad as Petreczko might react to the crowd, he's still far too good for Suzuki, and I think he'll win that one. He'll have his fair share of support, I think, as well, in the crowd as well, so I think he comes through that one. Jules Van Dongen and Darren Penhall. Jules Van Dongen, I think. Ian White and Tomoya Goto. Ian White. Ricky Evans and Simon Adams now. I've seen a bit of Simon Adams. Looks like he's a very good player, but I still think Ricky Evans will win that one. Steve Beaton and Wessel Nyman. I want to say Steve Beaton very badly. Record extending 33rd consecutive appearance at the World Championship. Just an incredible achievement. I want to pick him, but I think Wessel Nyman is in better form than him, so I think he'll beat Steve Beaton, unfortunately. Hey, Cameron Menzies and Rusty Jake Rodriguez. I'll go Cameron Menzies. Jan van Veen and Manluk Long. Jan van Veen. Right, so we're to the last 64 now, and this is where the seeds come into the tournament. So Michael Smith taking Stowe Bunce. I think Michael Smith will come through that one. Matters Razma and Mike De Decker. We're going to go for De Decker, actually, to win that one. I don't think Razma's in great form, and De Decker's had a decent enough year. I think De Decker wins that. Ross Smith and Neil Zonneveld. Ross Smith. And Chris Dobie, William O'Connor. Chris Dobie. Rob Cross and Mario van den Bogart. I'm going to go Rob Cross. Joseph D'Souza, Richie Edhouse. D'Souza's in terrible form at the moment, for the last while actually, but I still think he'll win. Not by much though. Johnny Clayton and Steve Lennon, Johnny Clayton. And Christoph Ratajski and Jamie Hughes, I think Ratajski. Peter Wright, Jim Williams. This is tough. You'd think Peter Wright will show up for the Worlds. You would think. You'd expect him to. He usually does. Jim Williams is playing. I think Jim Williams is playing better than him though. I think Jim Williams is going to beat him. That'd be an upset, but I think he'll do it. Raymond van Barneveld and Radek Zikansky, I'll go for Barney there. James Wade, Lawrence Alagan, James Wade. And Andrew Gilding, Luke Littler. I'm going Luke Littler. He's just too good. And Andrew Gilding hasn't quite been playing that well since winning the UK Open. Gowan Price, Connor Scott. Gowan Price. Brendan Dolan, Mickey Mansell, Brendan Dolan. Dirk van Dijvenbode, Keegan Brown. Depends how Dirk soon with the injury. I have a feeling he's not doing too well with that injury, so I'm going to go Keegan Brown. Gary Anderson, Simon Whitlock. It sounds like an amazing game, but realistically, Gary Anderson should come through comfortably. Michael Van Gerwen, Keane Barry, Michael Van Gerwen. Sorry, Keane, but I think Van Gerwen will beat you. Kim Huybrechts and Richard Veenstra. I think Richard Veenstra will actually come through that one. Dimitri Vandenberg, Florian Hempel. I think Dimitri will come through that. And Stephen Bunting, Ryan Joyce. I'll go for Stephen Bunting. Danny Noppert, Scott Williams, Danny Noppert. Martin Schindler, Fallon Sherrock. Gotta go Schindler. Hesse and Lukeman. We'll go Damon Hesse. And Josh Rock, Luke Woodhouse. We'll go for Josh Rock. Luke Humphries and Lee Evans, Luke Humphries. Colin Ridds and Ricardo Petreczko. I think Petreczko will win that one. Joe Cullen, Jules Van Dongen and Joe Cullen. Ryan Searle and Ryan Searle. Nathan Aspinall and Ricky Evans. I think Nathan Aspinall. Darrell Gurney and Wessel Nyman. He definitely is the game to cause an upset here, Wessel Nyman, but I think Gurney will come through. Dave Chisnell, Cameron Menzies, Dave Chisnell and Gabriel Clemens, Jan van Veen. I think Jan van Veen, just to getting. I can't see him losing to Clemens, to be honest. Right, so the last 32, Michael Smith and Mike Dudek on Michael Smith. Ross Smith and Chris Dobie. I think that if it happens will be an absolutely brilliant game of darts. Very tough to call, but I'm going to shade it for Chris Dobie. Rob Cross and Joseph D'Souza, we're going to go for Rob Cross. And Johnny Clayton, Christoph Ratajski. Johnny's been in poor form, which makes this a tough one to call. And I'm still going to go for Johnny Clayton. I think he'll turn it on for the World. Jim Williams and Raymond van Barneveld. Again, I think Jim Williams continues his run. Just do. James Wade and Luke Littler. James Wade, I think, will give him a bit of a schooling in that one. Gowan Price and Brendan Dolan. Gowan Price. And Keegan Brown, Gary Anderson. Michael Van Gerwen, Richard Veenstra. Michael Van Gerwen. Dimitri Vandenberg, Stephen Bunting. He's in the form of his life, and Dimitri, well, isn't. Danny Noppert and Martin Schindler. Danny Noppert. And Damon Hetta, Josh Rock. I think Josh Rock. And Luke Humphries, Ricardo Petrachko, Luke Humphries. Joe Cullen, Ryan Searle, that's another brilliant game if it happens. Just going to shade it for Ryan Searle. Aspinall and Gurney, Aspinall. And Chizzy and Van Veen, Chizzy. Michael Smith, Chris Dobie. I think this is where we might be saying goodbye to the world champion. I think this is where his reign ends at the hands of Chris Dobie. Just think Chris Dobie will win. Rob Cross, Johnny Clayton. I think Rob Cross wins that one. Jim Williams and James Wade. James Wade gets revenge for last year against Jim Williams. Gerwyn Price, Gary Anderson. Oh my goodness, what a game. So difficult to call. Gerwyn Price. Michael Van Gerwen, Stephen Bunting. Michael Van Gerwen. Danny Noppert and Josh Rock. Josh Rock. Luke Humphries and Ryan Searle. They seem to always bring the best out of each other. But when they both play at their best, Luke Humphries is better, obviously. Nathan Aspinall and Dave Chisnall will go for the Asp in that one. The quarterfinals. Chris Dobie, Rob Cross. I'm going to go for Dobie. James Wade and Gerwyn Price. I'm going to go for Gerwyn Price. Michael Van Gerwen, Josh Rock. Michael Van Gerwen. And Luke Humphries, Nathan Aspinall, Luke Humphries. Semi-finals, Gerwyn Price beat Chris Dobie. And then the big one, the one you've all been waiting for me to predict, Michael Van Gerwen, Luke Humphries. I think this is a game. I've changed my mind on this the whole time. I think if you ask me this in 5 minutes, I could give you a different answer. It's so tough to call. Just shade it for Van Gerwen. I think he'll be very up for it. And the final, Van Gerwen and Price. I think Michael Van Gerwen will be world champion for the 4th time. I think Michael Van Gerwen will be a 4-time world champion by January 3rd. And that concludes the predictions for the World Championship. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.